Hey guys, Average Joe Arms here, and bringing you another unboxing today. And of course, like always, I am excited about this. As you can see from the logo here, it is the XF Pro. This is a Fusion Firearms and Ermox, whatever that means. I'm sure it's two companies that are collaborating to make this pistol. They have their own video out there explaining all this stuff, so if you're really into that, that's awesome. Go check them out. This is just an unboxing. I'm going to compare it with a couple other clones. We're going to put an optic and a light on it, and hopefully next weekend we're going to shoot the crap out of it. So let's take a look. So we're going to take a look now, and as you can see right away, we've got some extra grips there. That's the logo, I guess. And here we are, Fusion Firearms. You got your little safety instruction manual here. Awesome. I'll look through all that later. I do actually look through these guys, and some of them, they're really nothing new, and other ones, like the Canic ones and stuff, I'm glad I looked at them before I messed with the gun, because there is certain things in there that you need to know. But anyway, here we are, and what this is basically, oh, wow, this thing's heavy. This is a Glock clone, sort of, and but it's all steel. From what I read and what I heard, the only plastic part on this gun is the mag release, and that's because it does use Glock mags, which is one of the good things about this gun. We got two 15-round Glock mags with it. As you can see, it's very nice. I really like the look of this. So there's no way to show this on camera. Of course, I could get a scale out, but this thing is very heavy. Right away, first impressions in the hand. Not digging the size of the grip on it. I have two other Glock clones that I'm going to pull out and show you, and they feel much better already in the hand. It's just very wide, and as you can see, it has these grip screws, so these come right off, and it does come with some extra ones. I probably will put these on because they're kind of cool looking. It's kind of cool. So yeah. So it is it's kind of wide, especially since you're taking a Glock mag. It doesn't really need to be that wide. Like I said, I have other Glock clones that don't feel this thick in the hand, but this is also without shooting it. If you are a fan of my channel, you would probably already know this, but if you're new to my channel, first impressions mean a lot, but shooting is a lot better impression. I have guns that I loved out of the box and hated to shoot. I have guns that I hated out of the box and ended up loving to shoot. So it can go either way. So I'm going to hold judgment on that, of course. But I'm just telling you how it feels in the hand. Very heavy, which that part I do like. I love shooting steel guns. My Beretta and stuff like that. I do like shooting them. Feels, it's a little oversprung. Maybe it might be perfectly sprung. I don't know. But all the controls are the same as a Glock. You have your takedown levers. They're just a little different design, but they work in the same way. You do have this back here, loaded chamber indicator and all that, or not chamber indicator. It's just showing that it's in fire. And since we already tested it, and it's empty, let's see how that trigger is. Yeah, so that goes away. Let's check our reset. Not bad. And my finger's so big, let me do that differently, but let's get a trigger pull. That feels really good. Actually, I gotta say, that feels really good. Not bad. I do like that trigger. But again, we'll have to see how it is shooting, because that can go either way. Some of the things I noticed right away is the full rail, which is really nice. I like that it's not just one. You can move the lights around. I am going to be putting a TLR1 on it, which is just one of my favorite optics. Probably a little big for this gun, but it's what I have on the RXM. We'll take a look at that in a minute. But I like that. That's really nice. It's like I said, the weight though, it's heavy, but it feels really balanced. Like my finger, I'm kind of putting all the weight on my finger right there. I'm not holding it up either way, and it's not falling forward. It's not falling back. A good balance. So that's just something I'm noticing feel-wise. I got to mention that. Yeah, it feels really balanced. I like that. You got some window cuts here, and as you can see through the window cuts, it is a fluted barrel, which is nice, helps with heat dissipation and stuff like that. I'm going to pop the slide off real quick, off camera, and we're going to take a look at that. And that did, whoa. The whoa was, you know, if you are a Glock guy, and it does, I mean, it does look like a Glock, little differences, because it basically is a Glock. I mean, a little different in here. From what I heard, it's not Gen 3, it's more of a 4 or 5. And you can use the triggers and stuff. A few things are different. And looking at that trigger bar and all that, it does look just like a standard Glock trigger. But your rails up here go the full length. You know, most of us, you get that Glock, it's like right there, and then it comes off the rails. This is a long full rail. So while I was taking it off, like normally I get about here and wait for it to come off, but you had to get it all the way to the end. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I like that. Let's put that back on. So putting it back on is a little different. But yeah, there it is. Let's get rid of this box real quick. Should have done that already. Oh, I will show you this. We got some plates in here, and this one says Doctor Vortex. So Doctor Cut, Venom, Viper. I hope there's an RMR one in here. Combat, yep, Trigicon. So there's an RMR plate in here, which is good, because I am going to put an RMR optic on it. Well, RMR footprint, and I'm going to put the Cyelee Ghost on here. So I'm going to keep that out. That thing's heavy too. That is a solid piece of metal. I don't know what this is. It looks like a suppressor, don't it? Oh, it's like, I'm guessing a screwdriver or some type of tool. It's got a little, I don't know if it, oh, pops off. Oh, cool. So you got brushes and cleaning stuff in here. That's pretty nice. It's a nice one. You know, usually you get in these cheapo stuffs. And, oh, I see this randomly in here. Like I said, second owner. We'll pull that out even though I'm not going to use that. I don't see a lock in here, which is kind of rare for a firearm these days, but oh well, it is what it is. Let's grab one mag out of here so we have a Glock one to show, and we'll pull these out too, because while I'm putting the Optic on, we'll throw them on just for ha-has. Well, before I compare it to the other guns have optics and lights on them. So I'm going to go ahead and mount an optic on here and mount a light on it, and then I'll bring out the other guns like I was talking about before. Okay, so here we go. Very simple mounting optic. The screws that were holding the plate down were the ones to hold down the optic plate. The screw size, I'm not exactly sure. It's the same screws that I had in my Canik TTI. Maybe I can find them. I don't know. If I can, I'll put them down in the comments. One thing I noticed is you got to be very careful with any kind of Glock with this side of the screws to not mess with your extractor. But this one is working freely. I tested that out, so I'm very happy about that. And there we are. There she is. Now, one thing I've noticed, as you see here, we have a PMag, 15 round PMag, fits perfectly fine. This is a 15 round Glock mag, fits perfectly fine. But as you can see, the shape down here, so the mags fit flush. But if you have an extension, like say this one, which is a high extension, with a 15, it won't fit. I'm sure maybe they make extensions that don't fit, but if you got a 17, those will fit too. Your 32s, any basic Glock mag will fit in there, which is nice. Oh, so I noticed I got some schmutz on there from putting in Loctite. But yeah, I like the way it looks. I'm going to see, when you hold it like this, your pinky's down here. One thing I don't like, I understand, you put the Glock mag in, now your pinky sits good and you're fine like a regular G19. But where this comes to effect is reloading. So I do competitions and concealed carry, which is something I would consider this for. And you go to reload and you grab your next mag and you stick it up in there real quick and you got your finger in there, whack. Ooh, I just hit it over here when I wasn't even trying to demonstrate that. Don't like that. I would probably go with 17 rounders anyway for competition, or just drop them on the ground. They're empty, no big deal. I think I have another one right here. Yeah. So I would probably do that for competition anyway, so it's not going to hurt my hand. But that is just something that I did notice. So anyway, let's bring out some of those other ones I was talking about. And I'm going to bring out the Ruger RXM. First, this is one of my favorite guns. It was kind of one I bought just for the channel because I thought it might be good for the channel. ended up, this is my concealed carry league competition gun. I absolutely love this gun. It's got over 5,000 rounds on it. It's been flawless. Got the Defender ST on it, which I really like too. Excellent optic. So basically the same thing. They're both G19 size. There we go. Basically everything's about the same, but as you can see on the grip, you see how much further down the XP Pro fits. But the front, like we were talking about, is flush because that's G19 style. And then you got this little addition here, which is kind of my least favorite part of the gun right now. So anyway, this gun is empty. I did notice my finger was on the trigger, but it is empty. They both are. We already tested them. You know, this thing is sprung, man. I can tell already just pulling this back compared to my RXM. And the RXM doesn't have a different recoil spring. This is the one that came with it. So very similar. Here we have the Falcon 9X from Live Free Armory. Basic. This is a G17 size grip. So we're going to compare this though. You're going to have the same barrel length, G19 size. But here's the funny thing: when you hold them side by side like this, I'll have to show you this way. That grip is almost as long as the 17 grip. It's a little shorter, but when you put all three of them, you can see the difference there. So, I mean, I really like both of these. I don't have a Glock at the moment. I did get rid of my G19 Gen 5. I'm very happy with these two so far. So I'm going to run this thing through its paces. We're going to see how she works. I'm really digging this Ghost on here. It's a little big, I know, but this isn't going to be my concealed carry gun. I could use it in concealed carry league, but this isn't going to be my concealed carry gun. Plus, it's heavy anyway. I probably wouldn't do that. And, oh, let's pause for 1 second. Unpause. I forgot I wanted to throw these on. You know, this isn't really my style, but it's kind of cool. It doesn't really match either. This silver with this white, if this was white, or there is a little bit of silver in there. But I still think it's kind of cool. And it's cool that they give them to you, too, with it. You get two styles. You just go all black if you want, and they sell other ones, too. Pretty inexpensive, too, considering what people charge for grips these days. But all right, guys, so like I said, this is just first impressions and unboxing. Can't wait to shoot it. Just real quick before I go, one thing I do like, I know I do the same with the Live Free Armory. I kind of like that this is a local shop. This is out of Venice, Florida. I'm here in Florida. LFA is made in Florida. We got some pretty strong, good gun rights down here in Florida. A lot of companies like to operate here. So I do like that. I like supporting local too. So when I can, you know. But anyway, guys, if you have anything that you know about this gun that I am forgetting or that you'd like to tell me, I love learning new things. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Stay safe and take care of each other. Average Joe Arms.